Ferdinand Magellan was a Portuguese explorer who sailed for Spain. He led the first expedition that went all the way around the world. Magellan was born in Portugal around 1480. He was from a noble family. He was a sailor in the Navy. As a sailor, he fought in India and the East Indies for Portugal. Portugal wanted to gain control of the Spice Islands, which were important because they produced valuable spices for trade. He helped Portugal gain partial control of the Spice Islands, but Portugal didn't reward him for his help, so he went to work for Spain to help them gain control of those islands instead. On March 22, 1518, King Charles I of Spain authorized Magellan's trip to look for a westward route to the Spice Islands from Spain. Magellan led a fleet of 5 ships and more than 200 men. They set sail on September 20th, 1519. There were several obstacles to this trip. No one at that time knew the route or how long it would take. Also, his crew mutinied in the winter of 1520. The trip took about 3 years. They stopped in the Canary Islands and then arrived in Cape Verde off the coast of Africa. Then they set sail for Brazil and crossed the equator in November. In December, they landed in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. On October 21st, 1520, they decided they had finally found the passage between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. This is now known as the Straits of Magellan, which they crossed through on November 1st, 1520. They headed north, and in March of 1520, they reached Guam and the Philippines. Magellan tried to convert the native people of one of the Philippine islands to Christianity. On April 27, 1521, there was a battle between the native islanders and Magellan. He was killed in this battle. The rest of the crew continued the voyage in May with only 2 ships left. They eventually made it back to Spain on September 22, 1522, with only 1 ship and 18 men. Magellan's trip was important because it was the first time that anyone had sailed all the way around the world. It expanded trade routes between Europe and the Indies and led the way to new explorations. It also led to further conflicts between native peoples and the Europeans as the Europeans tried to control more land.